Dreamweaver Toastmasters Club meeting number 24. In order for the meeting to be conducted smoothly and effectively, let me quickly share few guidelines. I would request each member of audience to keep yourself on mute for all times, unless when you are required to say something. If you want to say something out of your turn, please raise hand so the host of the meeting will consider your request. And also please note this is online meeting and is being recorded. So if you do not wish to be recorded, then please use stop video function unless you are one of the speakers. When any member is speaking, I would request to avoid interruptions via audio or video. If there is something you need to say unrelated to the meeting to someone in your house, you make use of stop video or mute yourself. We all believe in freedom of speech and expression. I request everyone to avoid highlighting on anyone's gender or religion. As I shall now read the Toastmaster Club mission statement, and I would request you all to maintain silence and not to repeat after me. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and future growth. A very warm welcome to everyone once again, and I look forward to everyone enjoying today's meeting. All the best. Now I would like to call our president, Toastmaster Varghese, to proceed with the meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Varghese.
Thank you, Hardik. President, we can't hear you. President, please unmute yourself. We can't hear you. President, click the...
Hi, thank you. Hello, thank you, Toastmaster Hardik. What a wonderful introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Welcome to all to the 24th meeting of Dreamweavers. For the guests and the newcomers, I just want to tell you what is Toastmaster. Toastmaster is an international educational organization that teaches public speaking and leadership skills through the worldwide network clubs. It has more than 364,000 members and through 16,000 plus clubs, and it's spread all over 145 countries. It has incepted in 1924. Since the inception in 1924, Toastmasters International has helped people from the different background become more confident speakers, communicators, and leaders. So this is what the Toastmasters. So I welcome you all to the Toastmasters Club. So with that, let me acknowledge the presence of some of the special guests as well as one of the main our Toastmasters. So I would like to acknowledge the distinguished Toastmaster DJ Malka Kumra. Thank you for your presence, and you are taking the role also today. Thank you very much. Also, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Muhammad Siraz. Thank you for that. And I would like to announce the Toastmaster Suraya. She is always attending our meeting. Thank you for that. And also we have some guests today, and I would like to announce Kainath Abdul Wahab. That Kainath, will you please explain and just give us a small introduction, and how did you get to know about the Toastmasters? Kainath, you are muted actually. You're okay.
Hi everyone. Hello, Mr. Varghese. Thank you so much for inviting me today. Well, about Toastmaster, I know it since a while. It's been like maybe 5-6 years. I know of this platform, and I know how much acknowledged and what is the importance of this platform. However, how I got in is, of course, from you and from Syed. Both of you like invited me today, and I look forward to this session today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kainath. It's wonderful that you are here. Actually, we have seen a great potential. I personally know that there are great potential inside you. Just elaborate with us. A great leader inside you. Thank you very much for that. And
Thank you.
we have another a guest today. Our my friend also, Jobin Joseph. Jobin, I think he left already. By the way, anyway, so we would like to go ahead. With that, I would like to move ahead. I want to introduce our Toastmaster of the day. Our Toastmaster. So, okay, just before that, I just had, we have some parliamentary procedure. All the members, is there any change in agenda today? Alan?
Yes, President, we have one change in agenda. The R counter would be replaced by Toastmaster Suraya Noor.
I would like to any of the two members of Dreamweaver Toastmaster Club and say raise the motion as well as second the motion.
Okay, so I, member of Dreamweavers Toastmasters Club, would like to raise a motion to have Toastmaster Suraya Noor as the R counter for today's meeting.
Someone has to second the motion.
Fakhruddin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Me, the member of Dreamweavers Toastmaster Club, second the motion.
Thank you. So yes, the motion has passed. Thank you for your support. So Toastmaster Suraya will be our counter today. And thank you, Toastmaster Suraya, because she has a great way of presentation. That is why we are so impressed on that. And now with that, I would like to our energetic as well as the glamorous, glamorous, the member of Dreamweaver. He is taking the role of Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Fakhruddin, stage is
Thank
for you.
you. Thank you, President, for such a warm welcome. And I'm literally blushing, Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, my dear guests. How are you all today?
Fine, we are
Great,
fine.
great.
Today, the theme is about face your challenges. Before that, I would like to give a brief about the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into three parts. There will be a speech section, an evaluation section, and usually we have table topic section. Instead of that, we have a constructive feedback session from none other than our co-founder DTM Ellen. It's entirely a new experience and we look forward to attend the session. Coming back to the theme of the day is about facing your challenges. In life, the day we are born into this world until we die, we are faced with multiple challenges. At the early stage of our life, we are blessed enough to have been raised by a very caring and protective parents who help us face these challenges and at times take those challenges on our behalf. But as the nature of life, it never remains stagnant. It has to move on. As the journey goes around, as you grow in your life, you get into a position wherein your challenges has to be accepted by yourself. Any outcome, any challenge has to be addressed by your own thought process and by your own deeds. Let me relate this with one of my real life examples. By the grace of God, it's a true story I would like to add. By the grace of God, I got married in year 2014. And Alhamdulillah, I have a very blissful marriage life. But in the same year, I faced some financial challenges. Unfortunately, I could not face those challenges the way I should have. That led to further more damages in my life, and I was under substantial losses by 2016. In 2016, I got a miraculous voice from inside. It was a message of Allah, or my prayers were addressed. I asked myself, enough damage has been done. Why am I not looking at the other way around? At the same time, I was introduced a very nice book by one of my friend. It is a book by Andrew Carnegie, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. In that book, I read to learn to live a life in day-tight compartments. I started living each day as it is and started looking at all my challenges the way it is, and rather than focusing on problems, I started focusing on solutions. I made up my mind that if I cannot play fours and sixes, I will just rotate the strike. I will take singles and doubles and I will wait for the loose ball to hit it hard. And gracefully, I got those opportunity. In next 1 year, I was out of all my debts and I started living a way better life than what I was suffering for last 5 years. Continuing the meeting further, I would like to introduce the timer for today. A timer is a very energetic, young and challenging guy. He has recently joined Toastmasters. His name is Mustafa Pindarmawala, and his biggest challenge was to be on a public platform, to face the public, to overcome his public speaking fear. He has taken up a role he has joined in Toastmasters, and he looks forward to make himself better and improve himself via Toastmasters. The second role player is an R counter. Her name is Miss Suraya. She is dynamic Desert Pioneers Toastmasters member. And
Fakhruddin,
yes,
Fakhruddin,
yes.
please call them and let them introduce their roles also.
Okay.
Starting the timer.
Okay. I would request Mustafa Pindarma to read his objectives and roles, please. Mustafa, you are mute.
Thank you, Fakhruddin, Toastmaster of the evening, fellow members, fellow Toastmaster, friends, and guests. As a timer, my role is to inform all the speakers that they spend how much time on their speech so that we will run the meeting on time. I will raise green card when the speech is long enough according to your project requirement. For example, 1 minute 30 seconds for double topics and 5 minutes for prepared speech. Yellow card will be raised when speaker should be aware the time is running up, and red card when the allowed time is finished. For table topics, not more than 2 minutes, and for prepared speech, not more than 7 minutes. For all facilitators, the length of your speech is already indicated in the agenda. At the end, I will update the report. Back to you, Fakhruddin, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Mustafa, for wonderful explanation. Now, let me take you towards our second role player. The second role is of counter. She is a very dynamic and energetic member of Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club, and she has taken up a role of counter, Miss Suraya. Her main challenge was to balance her uh, work life, studies, and household chores. She doesn't have enough time and freedom as her classmates or team friends are having, but she's taking up the challenge very positively, and she is looking forward to achieve all her responsibilities and tasks constructively. Over to you, Toastmaster Suraya.
Thank you so much, TMOD Fakhruddin. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am your R counter for tonight, Suraya, Toastmaster Suraya, from DPTM actually. So for today, my role is to count everyone's R's, so's, repetitions, etc. I'll also be counting our special session, which is, of course, DTM Allen's workshop. So we can see how it work, how, how many hours you might have in comparison to prepared speeches, instead of how much hours you would have in impromptu. And this is special for the evaluators and speakers. I will be giving you an average so that you know how to improve and where you can improve. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Suraya, for amazing explanation. And as President Verghese said just now, that you have a different style to perform your duties, so we look forward to it. Thank you so much. Our next role is the role of a grammarian. This role is being played by Toastmasters Arun Rajan. Arun had a very common challenge, but very critical challenge which we all face in our day-to-day life. He was depressed, anxiety issues, and into a negative mindset for a prolonged period. He took up this challenge to improve himself. He started meditating, dieting, exercising, and with positive outlook, he was able to overcome his challenge and join Toastmasters to improve further. Uh, Toastmasters Arun, I would request you please explain your responsibilities as grammarian. Over to you.
Thank you, DM Fakhruddin. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I'll be handling the role of grammarian for today. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. For today's meeting, the word is overwhelm. It means have a strong emotional effect on. An example of using the word is I was overwhelmed by the confidence of the speakers at our meeting today. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'll give the grammarian's report when called upon during the meeting and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arun, for such an overwhelming explanation of your duties. Now I move forward to a very important role play. Is about general evaluator. And this role is played by none other than the word weaver of our group, TM Sebastian Norona. TM Sebastian had a very crucial challenge. As we all know that he is very energetic, dynamic, and passionate person, his energies before he was not able to channelize in constructive manner, and instead it was turning out to be an anger management issue for him. He used to be short tempered, he used to react instead of responding, and which led to a lot of problems and challenges in personal as well as professional life. Over the period of 3 to 4 years, he has constructively worked on improving his shortcomings and striving hard to be a better version of himself. Over to you, Toastmaster Sebastian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin, and a good evening to everyone. Yes, what you see today is not the Sebastian that was 4 years ago. Anyway, I'm here today to be the general evaluator. That's my role for the day. As a general evaluator, I would be observing every aspect of the meeting right from the beginning till the end of the meeting. When I say all aspects, I'm not only talking about the quality of speeches or the way people spoke, I'm also talking about logistics, the way it was handled, the structure, the time management, and basically every aspect. So towards the end of the meeting, like Fakhruddin mentioned, the last segment will be the evaluation segment. My report of general evaluator will come last after all the role players have given their report as a comprehensive report of what I have observed. So all the very best to everyone participating in the meeting today. And I'm sure we will all have a wonderful time, especially at the workshop TTM Alan will be giving us today. And I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sebastian, for such a wonderful explanation. We highly appreciate it. Now let me move on to our most interesting session, the prepared speeches sessions. Okay, let me introduce our first speaker, TM Job. TM Job has recently joined our Dreamweaver Toastmasters Club, and he has been in Kuwait for last 8 years as a IT consultant, and his biggest challenge was to achieve a certification on a professional level, which had a very limited deadline. But with dedication and perseverance, he was able to achieve the task and receive the certification. To evaluate his speech, I would like to introduce Toastmasters Keon. Toastmasters Keon gave a wonderful message about his challenge. It was about compassion, it was about oneness, it was about kindness. Last few years back, they had gone for trekking at one of the hills in Bengaluru, and they reached to the top. They were about to reach the final destination, but unfortunately his friend couldn't bear with the changes in temperature, and due to which they had to stop the trekking and come all the way down. So for the sake of his friend, he gave up his own challenge and took him down and helped him. Thank you so much. Wonderful example of compassion and kindness. TM Keon, over to you. Please explain your duties and responsibilities as evaluator.
Thank you, Fakhruddin. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and dear Job Daniels. To you, your speech today is the icebreaker speech, and your objectives today is to begin speaking in front of the audience. The second objective is to discover the speaking skills that you already have and the ones that you need attention. Your speech is for 4 to 6 minutes, and the title that you have chosen is lives in the moment of and engaging in the present. So all the best to you, Job Daniels. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
So, thanks for the wonderful explanation, TM Keon. So, TM Job is embarking on his icebreaker speech. His title is Lives in the Moment, Enjoys the Present. Lives in the moment, enjoys the present. TM Job, over to you.
Thank you, TM Fakhruddin. It is said, if you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. And if you are at peace, you are living in the present. Dear Toastmasters, fellow members and guests, my name is Job Daniel and I am from India. Do you know the best part of my name is that it is very short. In fact, I was the fastest in school to write my name on the exam supplement. I could see my classmates struggle to write their long names. They had long names like Bhagyashri, Balasubramanyam, etc., where I was the clear winner. I just had to write 3 letters, J-O-B. The only strange situation that I have ever faced with my name are using my email IDs. No one ever used to receive my emails. On further investigation, I found that all my emails were ending up either in their spam folder or in their junk folder. The users used to think that they're getting fake job offers. That is when I realized I should not send an email from my generic email ID as job_lucky@gmail.com. Then my current email address is danieljob83@gmail.com. By the way, 1983 is my year of birth and I am a Piscean. I'm a person who lives in the moment and enjoys the present. So I would like to go in the reverse order from my present to the past. Talking about me, I have been residing in Kuwait for the past 8 years, working as a senior project lead with an IT company. My wife is a nurse and we are blessed with 2 children. Running the race of life, I paused my hobbies soon after reaching Kuwait. Back in India, my only hobby was to spend time with my friends, a selected few, as I'm an introvert in nature. I still cherish those moments when I used to spend time with my friends during weekend. Happiness and sadness are the 2 phases of life, and life runs on both the phases. Everyone has his or her share of both. Even I too had my share. There was this most gloomy part of my life when I had to leave my parents and come to Kuwait. This little part of my life was sadness to me. And then there was this most beautiful part when I met a wonderful girl, fell in love, and we got married. And this part was happiness to me. My dad once said to me, work hard and be patient. This is the best advice I have ever got in my life, and I still follow it. My parents are from Kerala. They had migrated to Mumbai, just like every other Malayalis, with a dream of coming to Gulf. As those days, flying to the Middle East was only possible from the Bombay airport. It so happened that he got stuck in Mumbai due to visa fraud, and he was never able to make to Gulf. And then he thought to settle in Mumbai. That is where we started to grow in numbers. I have 2 siblings. We all completed our studies. We all started working in Mumbai, the magical city of dreams, the city that never sleeps. This part of my life is the beginning. So friends, that's about me. Being an introvert person, I believe Toastmasters will boost enough confidence in me, which I can feel it already. I would like to end with the 5 mantras that I try to follow in my life, so that which I personally follow in my life to achieve, to live in the moment and to enjoy the present. So those 5 I am listing it here. Remove unneeded possessions. Dream about the future, but work hard today. Don't dwell on past accomplishments. Improve your relationship. And the last is better health. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Job.
Congratulations, TM Job, for your icebreaker speech. What a wonderful speech with so many messages. And the best I would take, the best message I would take for the lifetime is live in the present moment. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you.
With this, I would request all the participant members to take 1 minute to give our constructive feedback to TM Job for him to improve, to get better, and to get motivated. Now, let me move on to my second speaker. Second speaker is TM Syed. TM Syed is very jovial, extrovert, and vibrant personality by nature. He is embarking on his icebreaker as TM Job, and his pathways is dynamic leadership, and his challenge he discussed with me is about one incident happened in his hometown where few miscreants were beating up one farmer. Without hesitating about his NRI status, he helped the farmer and rescued him from the miscreants. Some localites guided him that if he get into this brawl, he might get into trouble because of his NRI status. But he thought beyond this and gave a wonderful example of compassion and kindness and humanity and saved the farmer. To evaluate his speech, we have our wonderful Toastmasters Faiz. Toastmaster Faiz is a multi-talented, multi-responsibility handler woman. She takes care of her home responsibilities at work, to raise her kids. So she takes all this thing as a challenge and handles everything very positively, time by time. I give the podium to TM Faiz to explain the responsibilities of TM Syed. Over to you, TM Faiz.
Faiz, you are mute actually.
Thank you, Fakhruddin. See, you talk about my kids and they are here to interrupt me. I'm sorry for this. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My target speaker is Syed Omar Farooq. He is a most amazing person, friendly natured, enthusiastic, hardworking senior account associate. When I say he is an amazing person, I mean it. Well, you will realize too when you listen to his story. His speech title is Responsibility, and this is his first speech is going to give us an icebreaker speech. With the great responsibilities, he is chasing his dream to achieve big. Let us all know what he is chasing it for. All the best to you, Saeed. Over to you. The stage is yours. Thank you, Fakhruddin.
Thank you very much, TM Faiz, for the wonderful explanation. And I hand over the podium to TM Saeed. Your title is Responsibility. Responsibility is your title. Over to you, TM Saeed.
Good evening. Good evening, President, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Varghese George, who introduced me to this Dreamweaver Club, who is also a very kind-hearted person, who is always guiding and supporting me. I am really lucky to have him by my side. So, fellow Toastmaster, today is my icebreaker. I will be introducing myself to you. Born in India in the month of May, my zodiac sign is Taurus. The bull, happily married with 2 kids. Currently, I'm in Kuwait, living in Kaitan, working as a senior account associate. So, seeing my physique and healthy body, you guys might have understand I'm a food lover. So, taking back to my older days when I was Master Sayed, 4 years old, I still remember the first day me going to school. New water bottle, new bag, new dress, and a Cadbury lollipop on the way to my school. I still remember all those. You know why? Because it was a disaster. It was a disaster. Why say? I beat my fellow classmate and I had to spend the rest of the day at the principal's office. Something that I need to be proud of for the whole of my life. Not only Master Sayed was naughty, he was a cutie pie also. By the way, Master Sayed was very good at his studies. He was very good, and at the end of the day, parents were happy because he was getting good marks. One thing I would like to tell about Master Sayed is he was a little bit Indo person. Not now, at that time. During that time, he was like, I don't know what was that time, but Master Sayed used to like Indo games, probably chess, Monopoly, snakes and ladders, all such as. Okay, then going ahead, it was a teenager Sayed. Teenager Sayed was a very energetic person, as you see. I'm still a teenager by heart. Okay, so his favorite Bollywood stars were Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol. And favorite movies Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and Kuch Kuch Hota Hai. Teenager life was one of the best lives I could ever imagine. Those days, when we used to bunk classes, go to cinemas, play cricket. Oh God, I believe I could have stayed a teenager for all my life. Oh God, I don't know, inshallah. Some fairy tale could happen. A fairy could come and make me a teenager again. Okay. I completed my schooling in Bangalore. Then we shifted to Andhra Pradesh, where I did my college. So here, after my college, like all the parents have their dreams. So my parents' dream was like, Sayed, get a job, build a home, and get married. But my dreams were totally different. My dream was to go to Gulf and become a billionaire. Oh, first dream is already finished. I'm here in Gulf in Kuwait, but the billionaire dream is yet to come. So here, I would like to. I'm at the end of this conversation of mine. So I would like to end with a short story. So here, the story is there was a small girl who was climbing up the hill. Next to this girl was a priest who was also climbing up the hill. The priest sees the girl and tells, Child, the luggage which you're carrying is pretty heavy. The girl return, tells back the priest, Father, This is not a luggage. This is my brother. Responsibility. Responsibility is the only thing in this world that cannot be given, it's always taken. And I believe here at Dreamweavers Toastmaster will make me a more responsible person. I'm sure it will fulfill that billionaire dream of mine also. Thank you all for being my audience for today. I stay here. Toastmaster Syed Umar Farooq. Back to you,
Thank you.
Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, TM Syed, for such an amazing
Congratulations,
speech.
Syed.
It was really a great entertainment, a better entertainment than Shahrukh and Kajol. You know, we would be amazed to see you. A better entertainment, amazing, and what an amazing closing.
Thank you, man.
Responsibilities
Thank
can
you.
only be
Thank you,
taken,
Toastmasters.
cannot be given. Amazing message at the end. TM Syed, you entertained us and you educated us. Thank you so much. I would request all the participants to take 1 minute and give constructive and positive feedback for better improvements and to motivate TM Syed to take up further more speeches. Thank you. Thank you. So now we move on to our third speaker. Our third speaker is a member of a Desert Pioneers Toastmasters Club, and he is following his Pathways Innovative Planning Level 1 Project Second. His name is TM Shiraz, and his biggest challenge is to adapt to current changing times. And he's fighting it day in, day out to adapt to the current changes and emerge winner. To evaluate TM Shiraz, we have none other than double DTM, currently member of 6 different clubs, DTM Alka Kumra. DTM Alka,
thank you,
had a very, very positive challenge, which is a great learning experience for all of us. During the early stages of her life as a teacher in Chandigarh, she took up a job in a college where the students were quite mischievous and they were not obedient at all. But with her determination, dedication, and most important, knowledge, she conquered the challenge. She conquered the difficult path, and she emerged winner. And she was also awarded the best teacher of that year. Over to you, Toastmaster DTM Alka.
thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for your amazing introduction. Good evening, fellow Dreamweavers and guests. Well, my target speaker, Toastmaster Muhammad Shiraz, today is embarking on Level 1, Project 2, second speech from his path Innovative Planning. And the purpose of this project, which is evaluation and feedback, that's the name of the project, is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her first speech. The title of his speech today is Strongest or Weakest, and the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. Strongest or weakest? All the best, Toastmaster Muhammad Shiraz. Over to you.
Thank you so much, DTM Alka, for the wonderful explanation. And now I hand over the podium to TM Shiraz. Your title is Strongest or Weakest. Over to you, TM Shiraz.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. I have two notes in my hand. This is quarter KD and this is 1 KD. Which is more valuable, the left one or the right one? You all can answer. How about Toastmaster Sebastian? Yes?
The one in the right hand.
One in the right hand. This is valuable, right? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Now, I have changed the note. Now, right hand 1 KD and this is 20. Which is more valuable? The left one. It's changed, right? Thank you to you all. It is easier to decide what is bigger. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. We all prefer more valuable stuffs, more quality stuffs. If a person is earning 100 KD, they want to earn 200. If a person is earning 1000, they want 2000. Are people greedy? No, not always greedy. People want to live a better life. People want to live a better life than what they have lived. For that, people use different approaches, different supports. Some people, they say that by education, I can live a better life, healthy life, happy life. Some people, they say by having lot of money, we can live a happy life. I feel, as per my research, I think that if we have the support, we can live a happy life. For example, to earn money, we need some support. To have education, we need some support. If we have support of a person, of anyone, we could do a better life. One person can do so little. If we all gather, we can do better things. My mate always supported me was my brother. He was my childhood hero. He was just 2 years elder to me, but I used to follow him a lot because he's elder. Mostly he does the talking, I do the things. One day he had an argument with his friend at college. Everyone gathered to see what was happening. So I also peeped up to see what is happening here. Suddenly the guy said, "Come, we'll fight," to my brother. My brother said, "Okay, if you want to fight with me, fight with my brother first." He pointed at me. Crazy, right? But I did not give up him because he is my brother. I fought with him, with his friend. I beat him. He returned back. I beat him again. He returned back. I fell down. But ultimately, I won. I did not give up. I tried to support him as much as possible because he kept trust on me. My dear friends, we all have someone to support and we try to support each other. Generally, we all choose people who are stronger to support us. I had a very good friend, a college mate. During the class, he used to sleep. Why? You all don't believe. While teaching, he used to sleep. But at the final exams, he was the topper in all our section. He got the best marks. After 4-5 years, I met him. And I found him in a small shop. I asked him, "Brother, what happened? Why are you like this? You got the best results, but still you're working in a small shop?" Do you all know what he said? "I did not have proper support. If I would have support, I would have been a better person than this, do a better job. I am in this state because people all around me supported me. They guided me. They pushed me to go front. That's why I am in here. Imagine how many people are there over us in our neighborhood who doesn't have support, who needs support. Imagine the garbage guy alone doing his job. We are throwing our garbage and he is cleaning. He is doing his duty. But if a support is there for him, he'll be a better person. He can do his job a better way. And around us, if you all can see, there are many people who need some support. Imagine if each one of us try to support each other, how will be the world? Thank you. Over to you, Tio Modi.
Thank you so much for the wonderful speech, TM Shiraz. We are highly impressed. The message is very strong that we need to support each other at each and every platform in our lives to help us, to help each other grow collectively. Support is indeed the most essential part. I do agree, and we all agree. TM Shiraz, once again, thanks for the wonderful speech, and I would like to take 1 minute for audience to give a very positive, constructive, and motivating feedback to TM Shiraz. Now, I would request timer TM Mustafa to update if all the speakers have qualified. TM Mustafa, can you hear me?
Mr. Fakhruddin?
Yes.
Yes, all the speakers are eligible.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, TM Mustafa, for your report. Okay, I would request the audience to please vote for the best speaker.
The polling is over.
Yeah.
Toastmaster over there.
Okay. Okay, let me move on to the next very interesting section of today. Is being conducted by a person none other than DTM Alan Paul. He's also the co-founder of the Dreamweavers Toastmasters Club, and he has taken up his challenge to convince his clients, his colleagues, his friends, at every corner via his learnings from Toastmasters. So he's taking up this challenge to utilize all his learnings to improve in all sections of his life. Over to you, DTM Alan Paul.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for that warm introduction. Yes, we strive for the best, isn't it? A warm good evening to my Dreamweavers, fellow Toastmasters, friends, guests, and I hope you are excited for this workshop. Who all are excited here? Can I see a raise of hands? Great, because you see, this is going to be a very interactive workshop. I wouldn't just be speaking over here. I would also like you guys to contribute to it when called to do so. And as we will be missing out on the table topic section, we are going to combine them into this workshop. All right. So I will be giving a few scenarios and I will be calling upon certain role players, whoever would like to volunteer, and we will try to imitate that. Anyways, more details, I'll come to that as we start. Now, Job, Daniel, I have a feedback to give you about your speech. Now, if I were to tell you this, what is the first thing that is going to come to your mind? Like, oh, he's going to ask me for feedback. I am sure that this is not going to be something good about my speech. Is this what you're going to be thinking about, Job? Or when generally when someone tells you, I have a feedback to give you?
Absolutely, because this is the
yeah.
Yes, correct.
Great. And Shiraz, you gave a speech, all right? Now, what if nobody gave you any feedback? Would you feel good? No. Would you feel acknowledged? You would feel bad, right? Now, everyone here benefits from a productive feedback. And if given correctly, feedback motivates. Now, I'm not going to be speaking about evaluation today. Today, I'm going to be giving you various examples at your work, at your home, or with friends, and how you can effectively use constructive feedback to your advantage. Now, before I do that, I need two volunteers, right? Two volunteers. Can I have maybe Dushyant and I can see Reddy after a very long time. Are you guys ready to enact a role?
Yes.
You are. All right, great. Dushyant, I would like to see you unmuted because this is going to be like table topics, all right? I'll give you 2 minutes. Or let's take 3 minutes. Timer, please note, they have 3 minutes to enact a scenario. All right? You guys ready? Thumbs up?
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, so here's the question, right? So you started a business with your friend and he is not being realistic with the expenses. And you want to tell him to cut the unwanted expenses without antagonizing him. All right. Now, Dushyant and Reddy, you both are the two friends. All right. Dushyant, Dushyant, you will be the friend who spends a lot of money. All right. And you're going to talk to your friend Reddy. Reddy is going to advise you. All right. But you're not going to listen to him at all. Yeah. All right. So this is the scenario. You try to listen to Reddy, and Reddy try to talk to Dushyant because he's unwantedly spending a lot of expenses. All right. So you guys have 3 minutes, and your time starts now.
Hi, Dushyant. How are you? After a long time, we are meeting.
Yeah, fine, ready. What about
I
you?
hope
Yeah,
all team members might be shocked that I'm here today. So I'm sorry that not being present in all the meetings. So let us come into the topic. See, Dushyant, actually, we need to think practically. You know, these days, after this pandemic, so most of the businesses has been closed down. As I was it is just a friendly information to you. So as I was talking to an elder businessman, so he was giving some projection for the future. Like, in future there will be a no travel business because the work from home business might be increasing, and there will be a drastically fall down of the real estate because nobody may require the residential offices. So due to that, the all to be practical, maybe after 2 years, this whole scenario might be different. So we need to accommodate ourselves from now itself. We need to cut down our travel expenses. Like, we don't need 4 vehicles for our company. Why we need 4 vehicles? So we have already started working from home. So just those vehicles are ideal. So why we need to pay rent for 4 vehicles? So let us have only one, and let us have a meeting weekly once. So we can work from home, and nothing is cannot be done in these days. We have a technology which can make us to meet at any time, like we are meeting in the meeting in few seconds.
Yeah, Reddy, you already told that I have spent the money. Yeah, due to the pandemic situation, for the emergency situation only I spent the money, not for my personal uses. Due to the emergency cases only I uses the money. So you should apologize this time. I will next time in our company I will get a profit to make this one. You should know my situation also Ready.
Yeah, see, I understand. I'm not blaming you personally. As a person, I know you better. You will be more safe by spending. But but the situation after seeing what has happened just in last few weeks. So I know that it might be an emergency, but emergency for you might not be an emergency for the company. We need
Okay,
to
thank
manage.
you. Time is up. Can we give a huge round of applause for these two? Wonderful scenario. Great. You guys did a fantastic job. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to analyze the situation. All right. Uh, Ready? You went straight to the point, right? One of the things that I would recommend is to first listen to what the other person has to say. So ask a question like, "Hi, Dushyant. I saw that there was a lot of expenses that were going on in the company. Would you like to, is there any problem?" All right. Because what happened right now is you directly went and told him a lot of things, right? And he was not able to respond. So one of the key things that you need to do is ask the question. All right. I'll be covering more details, but how did you guys feel overall about that session, Dushyant and Reddy? How do you feel
Yeah,
about it?
yeah, this is the new section for our team. I nicely enjoyed that section.
You actually okay. Reddy, how do you feel? Do you feel you were able to convince him?
No, it's not that after listening your feedback, I feel that I am really lacking something. So as you said, I should make him to understand the situation first about what we are talking. So when I make him to understand that on what topic we are talking, then I'm making a sound on in front of Duff. If I speak to the thing that which is not making him to catch the point.
Making him to catch the point. Okay, so we'll discuss the various scenarios that we could have done. All right. Now, the first thing that we could have done is keeping things brief. All right. Now, whenever we overload someone with pointers, all right, it reduces the possibility of them effectively using what they received. So it comes to a point where they feel like they are satisfying your need more than helping the other person. So always try to keep things very brief. You're getting, like, whenever, like, if you want to approach someone with anything, if you give in a lot of suggestions one after the other, they feel like they are being accused more than anything else. So they'll feel more defensive if this was the case. So first point is to keep things brief. Second is to accentuate the positive. If someone only hears about the failures and weaknesses, they will believe that they cannot succeed. And this goes for almost all the scenarios. You will be coming across various scenarios that we'll be explaining here. So try to not find only failures and weaknesses. If, on the other hand, the person gets support and encouragement, saying, if you were to say, "I understand this can happen. I heard you saying that, but a little more details," they will gain that desire and confidence to keep trying. Like, they had some emergency, maybe they can get better at it. And if your suggestions for improvement bring in results and recognitions, he will be more likely to listen to you for future suggestions. So, and with that being said, don't ignore a problem that needs to be addressed simply because you don't feel critical about it. All right. And the third one is the timeliness of it. Feedback should be timely. Like, don't keep things for the end of it. Like, you might say, "Okay, let's procrastinate. I'll tell them at a later stage." No, an excellent feedback should be given at a time that made no, because that should be okay. As I come to more scenarios, I will explain about that in detail. And you praised his progress. Always make sure you praise the progress. Now, before I progress further, can I have some more people who would like to volunteer next for any scenario? Would anyone like to volunteer?
I would like to volunteer.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me just stop my screen. Okay, who would like to volunteer? Keon? Did Keon say that? Okay.
I would also like to volunteer. I don't know.
Okay, you were.
I feel
Did
like
anyone
everyone
else say-
raised their hands.
Okay, who
Yeah,
said
me.
first?
Me.
Sayed.
All right. Okay. Do one thing. And for my next scenario, what I'm going to take is let's take Keon and Alina. Is that okay? Alina, are you okay with that?
I didn't even raise my hand.
Yeah, but you look good for this scenario. All right.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
so remember, guys, remember whatever I said right now. Keon, try to use the same. All right, for this thing.
Yeah, yeah.
For the next one. Now, this is the scenario. You found your teenage daughter has been using drugs and hiding it from you. How would you talk to him or her about it? Now, Keon, you can be the parent here, and Alina will be the teenager. Is that
Alan,
okay?
how do I look
Okay,
more
Keon?
Okay,
suitable
great,
for
great.
this?
Great, I'm ready.
All right, great. Okay, so this will be fun.
That was a hit below the belt, Alan. You made it.
Okay. Hi, Alina. How
All
are
right.
you? I'll
Hi,
start, yeah.
Dad. I'm great. How are you doing?
I had a wonderful day at the work today, you know. I just had the most amazing day. And just when I was
Mm-hmm.
at work, I I remembered how you were as a kid. You know, when you were in my arms and when
Mm-hmm.
you used to play, and when I used to ask you, Alina, what do you want to be when you grow up? So you know what you told me, Alina? Do you remember?
Um,
You
what did
don't
I
remember.
say,
You were
Dad?
small. You were small. You don't remember. But I remember what you told me. You told me, Dad, I want to be someone who wants to do good in this world. Do you remember? You said you want to be someone who wants to reach up to the sky. So, you know, from that day onwards, I always knew that you going to be the best girl in this world. My daughter will be someone who I will look up to.
I
So, you know,
have reached
Alina,
up to the sky, Dad.
so how's your day today? So that was my day. How's your day?
Um, it's fine. You know, the usual. Just been chilling, and yeah, I am trying to reach the same goal that I did mention as the small child that I was, trying to reach in a higher position as often as I can. So yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much it.
How's school? How's college? How's your friends?
Why are you asking me all this?
Because Alina, I had recently found out. See, I recently see there's anything you want to share, you can always share with me. Because see, you know, your dad, how I actually portray to you. I was also once upon a time reaching a lot of high times and high places at your age. And that time I had somebody who had told me that, son, it was my dad who told me, son, too much high, you'll have a very big fall. And I recently found something hidden under your bed. And this here is the green stuff. I think, I don't know, do you smoke it or do
How
you,
could you how
how do
could
you,
you go through my things? Do you not know about privacy?
baby, come on. I didn't want to, you know,
This is a
your mother had
violation
found
of
it.
my rights.
Your mother had found it and she told me that you need to talk to Alina and she's a daddy's girl. And
But
so I thought, see, See, there's nothing wrong in that, Alina. There's nothing wrong. I do love you. There's nothing wrong. You can do whatever is. Even I was at your age, even I was doing the same thing.
Okay, time is up. 30 seconds more, Keon. 30 seconds more.
But Alina, these things, I'm sure you'll reach, you can experience. It's good for experience. Even I did. But whenever you feel like having a smoke, you can always call me. You can just tell me. You can always tell me that, Dad, I want to have
Okay,
a smoke.
time is up. It is going in another direction.
I like the
Confession, confession of a born spectator.
Okay, all right.
Kayon, you make
so
emotional, by the way.
How is it? Yeah, you have to get sent. I thought I'll go sentimental.
I'm crying. I'm crying.
Made it emotional. I was crying.
Wow, like we have a huge round of applause for these two. Very realistic. Keon, I think you will be a great dad. And we have this on recording, so we'll show it to you at that time, all right? Let's see if the same dialogues come.
Okay.
No,
right,
it is great. It is great to hear from unmarried parent.
So
Something to learn for ready. Something to learn for maybe, yeah.
Okay, so what I really loved about what Keon did is that he was first listening and taking feedback from his daughter before giving his own feedback. So you saw that how he was able to effectively use it, right? Now, Alina, were you convinced about him? I mean, he was using constructive feedback, right?
Yeah, I mean, he did touch my heart at some point, even though I tried to resist. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. But what if he was like the moment he found it, he was angry and he was being direct at you? Would you have the same thing? Would it have been the
No,
same thing?
no.
No. Yes, exactly. So that was one thing that I found that you did great. All right. Now you can also be specific. You can. Did you? I liked how you were talking about the things that she had done great and how we can continue doing that. See, one of the most important things is to be very specific. Praise progress. All right. Now, I like say for example in the chat right now, I saw a lot of people praising the speaker about great job, oh great work. All right, but what did he do great? Anyone can say you're great, but the real feedback that would add value is to tell what you found great about the speech. Keon mentioned in his speech, like, Alina, I really liked during this time you had done this and that. He was very specific. And that is one thing that you can always incorporate in your feedback. Likewise, if now, should we go through more examples before I continue doing that? Good. All right. Who would like to go next? Hardik had raised his hand, right? Hardik, would you like to go next? And Said. Said raised his hand.
Fakhruddin and Fayaz.
Hardik had raised his hand before, so I'm just taking him. And Said. Okay, let Said come in. You guys ready for your next scenario?
Yeah,
you
ready.
guys saw you guys heard the presentation, right? You know how to do constructive feedback, right?
Yes.
Now I'm going to bring out the next scenario. Hope you guys are ready. All right, here's the scenario. Your sibling fancies about a new age course for his undergraduation. You strongly believe that it is just a temporary boom and it has no future at all. How would you convince your sibling? Now, who would like to be the elder sibling here? Hardik, would you like to be?
Said
Yeah, okay.
Said wants to be the elder sibling. All right. So, Hardik, you are the younger sibling. All right. And you want to go for a new age course. And your sibling is going to talk to you about this new course. Hardik, is there any specific course? Okay, more about that detail, Said can ask and find out. All right. Timer, please, not 3 minutes. So 2 minutes on green, because I don't see the timing cards. I was just timing it myself. So please, let's keep it on time before the segment ends. So you guys ready, right?
Yeah, ready.
Sorry, Hardik? Okay, your
Yes,
time
ready.
starts now.
Okay.
Hi Hardik, how are you?
Hi, hello, brother. I am fine. How was your day today?
I'm good. Hardik, like last time I invited you to my friends club, bro. Why didn't you join me? It was very wonderful. So what are you?
No, no, actually,
Were you busy?
no. Actually, what happened that recently, we finished our exam. So we were all my friends. We were
Ah,
having small get together. So I went there, and now as today I completed. Today I went to some colleges. As recently I got my results. So I and my friends we all were discussing regarding to which course we should go ahead, and we were all getting confused. One of my friend told you go with technical side, one of my friend told to go towards account side, one of my friend told me to go towards some homeopathy medical field side. So what you prefer, which field will be better for me? Because all of us were discussing, but we were not having any proper base or any experience. So I
yeah.
am little bit confused regarding to that.
Yeah, Hardik, I would like to tell you, like, like all my, like, I'm 2 years older than you. I have faced the similar challenge after passing, like, similar. My friends had told me, do this, do that, join this. I recommend you, brother, like, this all the four, is just like what you call a bell, what you call a bubble. It is just breaking. I recommend you, IT is blooming. I strongly tell you, let us do a small thing. Let us do, like, when the next Saturday we both are free, let us sit together. Let's do a small research on IT and your courses also. So I'm surely,
Fun.
means like good that you will surely like the IT. So let's go do that, brother. So the next
Okay.
Saturday we will sit together, do a small research on IT, and I strongly believe that you will love it. Why I'm
Okay.
recommending it to IT? Man, after COVID, you see everybody is into IT. All these four, I see those four things were very good at that time. But as a brother, I want you to become a more better person than me, man. I want you to become a multi-billionaire. I will become billionaire, you become multi-billionaire. I love you, bro.
Okay.
Hardik, you don't want to be aggressive. What a sweet brother you are.
So next Saturday we're sitting together, we will join IT. Okay, bro?
Sure. Okay.
I love
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, both of you. Fantastic job. Said, you were lucky this time because you got such a sweet brother. But if he was a little aggressive, what would you have done?
No,
Wouldn't
I
be a
have experience with the elder brother, so I took the elder brother job.
all right. But if your younger brother was a little bit more aggressive, all right, who doesn't want to listen to you, what would you have done in this case?
Yeah, see, I need to be more calm down, listen to him, and then agree to him initially, and then what you call,
But
I
what
cannot
if
directly
he makes sense?
advise him.
But what if he makes sense? What if, or whatever thing he's telling, what if that makes sense? Would you agree with him?
Hmm. See, in this, like, that's why I recommended him. Let's do a small feedback. Let's study. Like, let us not jump into the thing because that's the career part. We need to like learn, take advice from our what you call mentors and things, and let's take a better decision. So it's not like 1 or 2 day jobs. Like I will convince him. Like at least a month we do a study on
Okay,
either
that's
the
great.
courses.
You did a fantastic job. I'm really proud of you because you incorporated whatever I had told earlier also. So
Yeah.
fantastic job, both of you. Well done.
Thank you.
Now that's the thing, right? Whenever we are listening, we try to know about that person. So listening goes a two-way street as well. All right, because you need to always hear the other person out, and it is very important in when using constructive feedback. And the way he was able to tell it, he didn't tell you need to do this. This is not what I want. He said it in a very diplomatic, constructive style. And how did he do that? Does anyone know how he did that?
Yeah, he
Anyone
tried
like?
to engage into the conversation.
He was engaging into the conversation. Yes.
He was engaging into the conversation, and he tried to
Hmm.
balance
So
the
here's the thing: you
situation.
capture the
Moderation.
situation first. All right, you
Yeah.
capture the situation. You describe the behavior.
Yeah.
Then you describe the impact. He told about the various different scenarios. He knows the situation, he described the behavior, and he described the impact it's going to have, and
That's
then produce a plan of action. But I was
okay.
hoping that you, instead of delaying it to another session, you would have discussed it right here, both of you. But, anyways, we'll be having more. So keep this in mind for the next two
He
people who
also
would like to come.
he also made the younger brother the bigger person. Like you would
Hmm.
be a
Yes,
multi-billionaire.
and that is very important because whenever you are hearing the other person out, and if they make sense and you're agreeing with that person, that empowers them to do better. All right. So in the next scenario that I'm going to have, I can see Faze has been there. Faze, you can be one of the role players. Who would like to be the next person?
I'll take. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you both are going to be in the next scenario. So try to capture the situation, describe the behavior, describe the impact, then produce a plan of action. All right. So don't be naive, both of you. So let's give it a tough time, shall we?
Yeah.
Are you guys
Yes.
ready? Okay. Here's the scenario. You are a teacher, and one of your students' parents have not been turning up for the parent teacher meeting and is not promptly responding to the emails or messages. And you are worried about how this is going to affect the child. All right. Now, Faiz, which role would you like to take?
Teacher?
Okay, you can be the teacher. So Fakhruddin will be the parent, right?
Okay.
Fakhruddin, you're
Yeah.
okay to be the parent. So I'm going to tell you the scenario again. Faiz, you are a teacher, and one of your students' parents has not been turning up for PTA meetings and is not promptly responding to his or her messages. You feel worried about how this is going to affect the child. You have to convince the parent. All right. So all the best. Your time starts now.
Hello, Mr. Fakhruddin. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Thanks for taking time to have a meeting today. I was
Pleasure
been
is all
sending
mine.
emails to you to have a parents meeting. Thanks for your time today. So, how is life? How is your work? How's going on?
Yeah, things have been moving on, but since due to pandemic, things have gone upside down, and there have been multifold challenges we have been facing into business as well as in personal life. So we are trying to keep up the tempo, and we are trying to move on with the life.
Okay, good to know that. See, I would like to share with you the some work
Mm-hmm.
done by Izan, which is
Mm-hmm.
your child. He's a
Mm-hmm.
very brilliant kid. He has
Thank
done very
you.
excellent drawings, and he's
I know that.
participated in the activities. He's
I
doing
know.
really well. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, when we come to the studies, and I see from the term one, he is really good,
Mm-hmm.
and his marks are consistently low from term 2 and term 3
Mm-hmm.
and in the and I have noticed, Mr. Fakhruddin, the child is
Mm-hmm.
bit reserved. He's sitting, he is not like as before.
Mm-hmm.
I am his class teacher when he was in class 1.
Mm-hmm.
I know Izan very well, how he was. I have
Mm-hmm.
seen him, I understand him how he is. But
Mm-hmm.
he is not the same Izan now. I see a
Mm-hmm.
lot of changes in him. He is quite, he don't have that energy what he had before. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
is it something disturbing him? I mean,
No,
or he's
because
losing an attention. Anything he's missing from the school or from the home, or he's missing any of his siblings, or is it anything which is troubling him?
no, as you usually see when the child grows up, when they go from first standard to second standard, there are a lot of hormonal changes, or their surroundings, or their tastes, their preferences, what they liked
30
before,
seconds.
what they like now. So things are changing, so they are into the transition phase. So perhaps due to that, he might have lost interest into your same way of styling. I mean, I guess you need to have a rethinking over your education procedures as well. I guess because nowadays I'm getting a lot of, don't take it otherwise, ma'am, but I'm getting a lot of feedback from the other areas about the school, that you have been following the same pattern of education since years and years, and there has been no changes, even though the teachers are not giving up the proper handling their responsibilities to the task. So what do you have to say on this?
I agree with you, Mr. Fakhruddin, but since I have seen your child, I have understand him a bit. What I realized is what I noticed
Okay,
from
thank
him is
you.
he
We
also
are,
need a parent.
yes. Actually, that was very well handled, Phase. I mean, Fakhruddin was a very strong
He
parent.
was
So,
attacking me.
fantastic job, Phase. Let's give them a huge round of applause.
As personally, no.
Yeah.
I was just playing my role.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that was the way Faye's handled was really good. She used that Oreo technique, good things first, point of improvement in the middle, and then the conclusion. So that was very well done. And the way how Faye responded to him when he was getting angry was also brilliantly done. Now there may be times where sometimes your constructive feedback may not be effective because the other person might be a little arrogant. If it comes to that, then if it comes to a point where constructive feedback is not working for them, then it is their fault actually. So you don't
How
have to
was
worry
the
about them because
how was
that
the villain? How was the
villain
villain?
No, no. I actually, you have hidden up. So if we continue, I would have calmed you down. I try to explain the scenario. I'll propose you a support from my side. Okay, we will work out with the plan what we can
that was very
do
professionally
to
done, Faith. I'm
improvise
really
the
proud of you.
situation.
We are all really proud
Thank
of you.
you. Thank
Fantastic job. As we are running a little bit short of time, let's move on to the next set of role players. Only 2 minutes each this time, all right? Who would like to go forward? Who would like to take it up? Would anyone else like to take it up? Sebastian. All right, Sebastian can take it up. Who else would like to go? Alka, would you like to go? Anyone else?
Okay, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Okay, you don't mind, right? Okay, great.
Uh,
Okay, so here is a scenario for Sebastian and Alka to experience Toastmasters. So I'll give a good one. All right, so here's the situation. Your boss comes up with an amazing idea. And as per your market knowledge, you feel that it is not going to work at all. How would you convince your boss? Okay, now tell me who would like to be the boss here?
I would like to be the employee.
You like to be the employee. All right, so DTM Alka is the boss. All right, so you guys know the scenario. So wishing you guys the best. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Sebastian. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I just got to know from the email that you have sent across that you plan on launching this marketing campaign targeted at SMEs and at slightly larger organizations as well. I was looking at a few experiences that I had in the past and in the recent past, that is, and I think though it's a wonderful idea, it might not be the apt one for the current market situation. I don't know. I have a few facts and
No, no,
figures that we
no, no,
could
no,
discuss.
Sebastian. I have done this, come up with the idea and sent the email after a lot of research and also my experience.
Mhm.
This has been a successful idea before, and this
Yes, of
kind
course.
of marketing campaign is what is being done by everyone around us. So we have to compete with them. How can you
Yes.
say it is not apt?
No, no. What I mean is it is a wonderful idea, yes, but given the condition of the market currently, we might want to actually tweak it a little bit. We could use that as a foundation. your idea, which is a very robust one. Yes, it has worked for many other companies, and many of our competitors are doing the same thing. We could use that as a foundation and fine tune it to
30
give
seconds.
it an exclusive touch from our company's point of view. How about that?
Will if you can get a proposal for me, if for me with your what is your suggestion regarding this, I'll have a look at it.
Yes, in fact, I already have a few points that I had jotted down before I approached you. So give me till end of the day. I will send you an email, and I will then spend maybe 15 to 20 minutes sitting and discussing this with you.
All right, thank you.
How's that sound?
Fantastic job. You both were very professional. I like that. Even though Alka was a little aggressive in the beginning, but what is really important to notice here is that even if you are a boss, communication is a two-way street, right? So at the end, did you notice how she was also listening to what her employee had to say? And it goes even if you're a boss. I mean, it doesn't mean that you don't need to listen to anything. You also need to listen to feedback. In one of the surveys that was conducted again in the States, it was found out that 4 of the 10 employees who received no feedback become actively disengaged, whereas managers who concentrate on the strengths on giving feedback are more likely to engage their audience. So, with the tools, techniques, and strategies that a manager uses when giving feedback, have a huge impact on the employee. So, feedback is crucial. An engaged team is more productive, who shares your vision, who shares your ideas. Now, let me tell you, most of you have been working here in Kuwait, right? But if you see outside, maybe say in Google and other places, you get to rate your managers as well. They get to get their feedback, because if your manager is not performing well as per your employees, you would be in trouble. So just because you're a manager doesn't mean that you get it your way. You also have to listen to what your employees are saying. All right. So, like I said, communication is a two-way street. Now, what did we understand when we are listening for feedback? Some of the points, what you guys noticed, can just tell it out loud. What do we do when listening for feedback? We listen attentively, right? What else? Anything else you can think of? You repeat only what you heard to clarify. All right. And if you're asking, and you also ask for specifics, only then they'll get to know whether they are doing well or not. And show appreciation by saying thank you towards the end. If you saw Sebastian and Alka, that was very professionally done. So I really like that. But if it was any other boss who was like, no, I don't want to hear you, do you think the employee would stay in the company? One of the factors nowadays for people to retain in a company is the way their managers behave. So it is very important if you can do that. And ask if and when you can check back. This is always very important in a feedback. As our time is up, that is all for today. I know I have reached the time. So, where can we use constructive feedback? In Toastmasters, we have different leadership roles where we actively communicate with our team members to know how to do that. And we can effectively use constructive feedback like the scenarios that you saw here today. And also in your evaluations, if I have timer, do I have some more time? No, I don't have time, right? All right, no time. So if I can show you the different scenarios and how you can effectively use evaluation. So this is a platform for you to practice evaluations, whether it is with your members or even when it comes to speeches, you can effectively use your constructive feedback and practice on this. With that being said, back to the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Alan, for the wonderful session and for the wonderful explanation. This was this was a unique experience, I can say. Trust me, we have never encountered such a great learning experience, such a great learning session. Okay, I would like to request all the audience to take 1 minute for the voting. Can we have the voting for this? Timer, please let us know when 1 minute is over.
You can proceed to the general evaluation, Toastmaster.
Now let me move on to our last but not the least, the most interesting session is about evaluation. And let me hand over the podium to General Evaluator Toastmaster Sebastian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. Wonderful Toastmaster today role playing, I should say.
Thank you so much.
And before I come with my observations, my general evaluation of the meeting, I would like to, as the structure of the Toastmaster meeting goes, invite my co-role players to share their feedback, share their evaluations, share their observations about the speeches and whatever other roles they've played. So let me begin with calling upon Toastmaster Keon, who was the evaluator for Toastmaster Jobs icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Keon, are you, can you unmute yourself and proceed with Toastmaster Jobs evaluation?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Sebastian. Toastmaster Jobs, congratulations on giving your icebreaker speech. See, Jobs, I like that you stood up. You took charge. You, even though it was a virtual meeting, you stood like you are standing for a speech on a physical meeting. So that's what I liked. It showed confidence. And I didn't see any nervousness. You had Jobs. See, I want to tell you something I observed. In your speech, you had humor. You had humor, and you just went right to the, you addressed the elephant in the room right there by saying, by telling about your name and the structure that you used. I'll come to that later about the structure. So when I saw your speech, I saw you were very comfortable. And for that, I would like the audience to give you a round of applause again. Please, everyone, what a great job. You did a great job. So
thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so the thing is, you have a very good appearance. So you were very see, you even when you gave the speech, it was very overwhelming for us. It was very good to look at you standing there giving your speech with confidence. You had something called as natural body language. You used gestures. So, and that made your speech more vibrant. Okay, you had eye contact. You were looking into the camera, and I could feel that you were talking to us. I could still feel we were in a physical meeting. You had good eye contact, and I could not see one bit of nervousness. I don't know how, man, but you did a good job. You were not nervous, even though it was your first icebreaker speech. I think you can become a champion. You can go for the championship to, win the championship, because your icebreaker speech was well prepared. And the way I won't come back to the structure. You gave a good structure. You had a good structure. You introduced yourself, you had a good body, and then you came to the conclusion by a very good moral. So you had a message, which is wonderful, which is take home. And I would say, great job. I want to see more of you next meeting, and I want to see more speeches from you, man. Wonderful. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Sebastian.
Thank you, Keon, Toastmaster Keon. And I'm sure Toastmaster Job will have a valuable takeaway from the evaluation that Toastmaster Keon has given him. And I would second Toastmaster Keon on what he said. This was hardly like a Toastmaster, like an icebreaker speech. It was indeed, it sounded like a speech from a seasoned Toastmaster. And I would like to, at this stage itself, say the same thing about Toastmaster Syed's speech as well. He also gave his icebreaker, and it has been unlike icebreakers that I've seen in the past. Well, moving forward, I would like to invite Toastmaster, who was the second speaker? Yeah, Toastmaster Fez, who has evaluated Toastmaster Syed's icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Faiz, kindly unmute yourself and proceed with Toastmaster Syed's evaluation.
Good evening, everyone. I was overwhelmed by the confidence of Saeed Omar today. We are all. His speech was really speechless to me. He's very confident, full of energy, fantastic delivery. Thanks. Well, we really enjoyed your speech, Saeed. Very well done. Your speech delivery was spontaneous and it's well connected to the audience. uh, and it was very effectively presented and you've completed in the time frame. You look relaxed, breathe and enjoying your speech. Good part is it was very humorous. It's good that you added humor in the speech. That attracted the audience and we all enjoyed. Like Sebastian said, it's it I did, my icebreaker is not like this. I'm telling you, I was very nervous, and this is it doesn't look like icebreaker speech at all. It's like the advanced speeches you do. And congratulations first of all to for the wonderful speech, and whoever helped you in preparing to the speech, they have done a wonderful job. And you are very friendly, and it doesn't look like the virtual meeting that we it's like we are enjoying the meeting at meeting like in our meeting rooms. And I would like to work on two things. To when you prepare your second speech, I'll suggest you to go for the humorous speeches, which you are good at it, and you can work on your hand movements and the body language, walking around the stage, which you can reduce, and you can be more specific to the content. It will really help you to improve in the next speeches. You can use the presentation formats to present your speeches, and that makes add up more fun when you're presenting. And you ended up with a speech with a great message. Responsibility it's the only thing in the world cannot be given but taken. It was a great message that we all take it home. uh, Thank you, Saeed, that is all from me. Good luck for you in the future speeches. Now, over to you, PM Modi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faiz. I will work on it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Faiz. Just like Toastmaster Keon's evaluation would be beneficial to Toastmaster job, I'm sure Toastmaster Faiz's evaluation will also be taken in the right spirit by Toastmaster Syed. Uh, I would like to point out here that I am Toastmaster Syed's mentor. However, we did not get to speak uh, over the phone also because I got a little occupied with other things. But we did communicate via messages, and I did impart him with certain pointers from my point of view. And I see that he has applied. I won't get into details about what we discussed, but yes, I can see very clearly that he has applied at least some of the pointers that I had suggested he should be doing, and he did a wonderful job of it. Once again, congratulations to Toastmaster Syed.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sebastian.
Moving on, we have the third speaker, Toastmaster Siraj, who was evaluated by double DTM, Toastmaster Alka. And I would now like to invite her to the podium to impart her evaluation of Toastmaster Siraj's speech. Toastmaster
Thank
Alka.
you, General Evaluator. Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sebastian. Good evening once again to all of you. Well, I was really overwhelmed to hear a simple subject that was touched upon by Toastmaster Shiraz today. and yet a different viewpoint. People are not greedy, they just want a better life. Well, I also loved the way he introduced. It was a very catchy introduction by waving the notes, very tempting us with it, but not giving them those to us. He also had sprinkles of humor in his speech, which made the subject easily understandable and acceptable to all of us. Well, I would also like to say that he has incorporated the feedback that he received from his last speech, which was the purpose of his present speech. The things that he incorporated in his speech are voice modulation. He had his facial expressions were very effective. He had body language. He was using his hands and he had stage movement as well. Now, what I would like him to work further on is the voice modulation. It was there, but he could have added a bit more when he was talking about his brother, telling that my brother will fight. So he could have said, well, you want to fight? Okay, but first fight my brother. So a little more voice modulation would have made it even more effective. Also the emotion, if he adds emotions to his speech, like I mentioned, you want to fight, so that would add a little more effectiveness in the speech and it would make it more interesting. Now coming to the message, yes, there was a very powerful message in it, in the speech, that we should support each other. Simple yet powerful. But I would have loved to see a more emphatic conclusion to it. It was just said in the end in a couple of sentences. You could have made it a little more emphatic by maybe adding a quote about it or repeating it again and again. What can we do these days? By supporting each other, we can make each other's lives easier, more comfortable. This is the least we can do as a human being. So something like this would make the message and the conclusion even more emphatic. To conclude, I would just say that you have incorporated all the feedback, most of the feedback from your first speech, which was the objective of your second speech. So you have met the objectives. However, if you would add a little more voice modulation, add emotions to your speech, and make the conclusion a little more powerful and emphatic, the speech would be really effective. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, DTM Alka, for the wonderful evaluation. And Toastmaster Siraj himself, being an older member, would really, I'm sure, appreciate and absorb the insights that DTM Alka has given him. Well, now I see the poll popped up on my screen. Let me quickly first, one second. Okay, let me poll. Okay, there you go. Moving on, we now have completed the evaluation of the prepared speeches, and we move on to the other role players. I would now like to invite the timer for the day, Toastmaster Mustafa Pindarma, who will quickly tell us about the timeline, what he observed about the timekeeper role, and if everyone that has to be marked has been marked and qualifies for the various polling. Toastmaster Mustafa, if you could quickly, briefly give us a report of your timer role.
Thank you, Sebastian. Speaker 1, TM job, time taken 5 minute 11 second. Speaker 2, TM Sayed, 4 minute 50 second. Speaker 3, TM Shiraz, 6 minute 4 second. Evaluator 1, TM Keon, 2 minute 40 second. Evaluator 2, TM phase, 2 minute 56 second. DTM Alka, 3 minute 28 second. I have to inform for the table topic also.
No, that's fine.
No, that's not required. No.
So all the speakers are eligible. Evaluator, DTM Alka, time limit access 3 minute 28 second. Rest, Kaon and Fez, they are eligible. Over to you, Sebastian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mustafa. We are already a little short on time, so we will quickly breeze through the remaining section of the evaluation. Now I would invite the R counter, Toastmaster, who had taken up, Toastmaster Suraya. Oh, we have Toastmaster Suraya with us, who would quickly give us her R counter report.
All right. Just a second. I have a little presentation. Okay. There seems to be an issue on my side, but that's fine. Okay, I hope everyone is ready. This is just lots of numbers, so please settle down. First, oh my goodness. Oh no. Can the grammarian go first? Because I think I'm having technical issues. Hello? Can the grammarian go first, please, if you can hear me?
Yes, we will. I would like to invite Toastmaster Arun Rajan to cover up his grammarian report while Toastmaster Suraya fixes the technical issue that she's facing.
Thank you, TM Sebastian. So here is the report for the grammarian. So Hardik has used the like sentence like day to day. So that was like if how was your day? That is enough, I guess. Instead of how was your day today. So and he was he have also mentioned about the guys like you were telling told to do this, told to do that. It was like it would be better to use suggested to do. And Fakhruddin used the word of the day, right? And he used some good words like perseverance. It's like continue to achieve something despite of difficulty. Which is really nice. And he had good clarity. And Sebastian used some good words like tweak, robust, embark. These are really nice words. And Kaon used the word of the day. And I like the word usage of vibrant. And Faiz, there was like she used some good words like consistently, spontaneous. It was good. And there was some grammar mistakes like I had been instead of I was being. And regarding Alka also used the word embarking, which I liked. And Alka used the word word of the day. And job, he had some grammatical mistakes like advised instead of advice. Unneeded he used. I guess unwanted would be the apt word for that one. Sayed was powerful, like energetic. He used the word parents was, he used like that. So it would be parents were, I guess. And luggage is used, luggage was, it should be. And Shiraz did some good job, and that and there was no grammatical mistakes I did not found in his speech. Alan's pronunciation was really good. each words, the clarity in the words. So it was really nice. And some of the good words he used was antagonizing, accentuate. It was good. And yeah, that's it for the grammarian. Over to you, Sebastian.
And thank you, Toastmaster Arun. And Toastmaster Rhea, are you on?
Yeah, let's try this. If not, I'll verbally give out my report.
Sure, of course.
Okay, now that we have that. Okay.
What it is, I guess.
I think my laptop is.
We just could see it just now.
Yeah, it's flashing for some reason. I have zero clue why. So just a moment. I'm going to stop the presentation.
Actually, just continue sharing it and give your report. Maybe it will pop up at times, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are already.
Yeah.
All right. So no. I wish I could tell you what's happening, but
We have overshoot time actually.
okay, I'm going to give my report verbally because my laptop is possessed. I'm giving my screen is not being shared, hopefully. So one of the main rules and tips that I often give to people if they feel nervous, and when they feel nervous, they tend to have a lot of ahs and ums in their speeches. So what I usually say is focus on your words and voice rather than your gestures and body language. And the reason why I bring this up is because Toastmaster job has absolutely smashed the R counter report for his report because he only had one filler sound, which is and one filler word. So both happening only once. So he had an average of 0.4 per minute, the lowest that I have seen in a while. Next, we have Toastmaster Said. He was also quite similar. He had an average word count, average filler sound and word count per minute of 1.8. And most of his filler sounds were actually filler words, such as, you know, okay, so, like, I'm. Very normal. Then we have Toastmaster Shiraz, who had an average of 1.7 filler sounds and words per minute. 1.2, sorry. With his favorite filler sound being and filler words being we, I, you all, see. And DTM Allen, I have not spared you. For some reason, I think you have possessed my laptop because most of my report went into your account. Let's just say throughout the entire segment, not accounting for the sessions in between, you had an average filler sounds and words per minute amounting to 3.2 per minute, with your favorite filler sound being and favorite filler word being all right and so. And also at one point, you guys, quite a few times you use that. And of course, I can't forget the evaluators. We have contest season coming up. So, Toastmaster Keon, his average was 3.2 filler sounds and words per minute, with his favorite filler word, no filler sounds, being so. Toastmaster Faiz had an average of 6.7 filler sounds and words per minute. Her favorite filler sound being and filler words are usually repetitions, so that's fine. DTM Alka, so her favorite filler sound was and she didn't have that many filler words, and her average was 1.7 per minute. So congrats to everyone. Thank you, timer, for that. And over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suraya. It was an elaborate report, and I'm sure if we could have seen your screen, it would have been a lot more interesting. Anyways, never mind. Maybe the Halloween spirit has probably possessed your computer. Well, we are already way out of time, but I will quickly give my general evaluation report. I have written down a few points, so I will just now, for the sake of the time breach, I will just read it out without going through too much of explanation. So here we are. To begin with, let me quickly touch upon what I saw happened in a good way. The team meeting started on time. The sergeant at arms set the proper ground rules systematically. The Toastmaster of the day explained the structure of the meeting very aptly and clearly. The introductions of the role players was done very efficiently and with no wastage of time. Right. Now, any Toastmaster meeting is not only the 2 hours that we spend in the actual meeting, but the efforts begin immediately after the previous meeting ends. Over the last 2 weeks since the last meeting on 17th of October, there have been members of the club who have coordinated with each other and come up with what we have experienced in the last 2 hours. So it is not only these 2 hours that I have been evaluating. Taken into consideration whatever has happened since the 18th of October till today as well. So the conversations I've seen on the WhatsApp groups and how the poster was made, how DTM Allen came up with the workshop idea, how everything was put together and everything fell into place. So these are the things that I have considered. The quality of the speeches I should touch upon over here has improved a great deal. It has been just a little over 2 years that I have joined Toastmasters, and I'm sure DTM Allen, DTM Alka, at least two of the members who have been with Toastmasters for a much longer period, would agree with me when I say that at least icebreaker speeches have come of age. We have seen a great improvement in the quality of speakers that we are seeing today, as we probably had seen 1 or 2 years back. I'm sure Toastmaster Amrit would also agree with me when I say this. Right? And it's a really heartening thing. I'll tell you why. It's not only that we are getting good members, but it also means somewhere down the line that mentoring is happening properly. People are getting help properly. And that is the entire premise on which Toastmasters has been built upon, which is really assuring. Well, let me, without wasting time, quickly touch upon a few things that could be improved. One, change in the agenda, Toastmaster Varghese, especially for you, should be discussed before the meeting so that you don't have to ask Toastmaster Allen, is there any change during the meeting? If you had asked him before, you could have straight away started with the parliamentary procedure. That is one thing. Each person who is playing any role should make it a point to have a script for whatever they are supposed to be speaking or narrating. Once that script is made into a clinical habit, eventually it will become second nature and it will come out naturally. So the first 2 or 3 times when you take up a role, you might need to read it out, or you might sound a little as if you are reading out things from a book. No problem. But after those 2 or 3 times, it will come out naturally and it will sound as natural as possible. There will be no time wastage, there will be no fumbling, there will be no miscommunication that will happen. Presence of mind. Attention needs to be closely paid to the mute and unmute functions, especially when you are required to speak. If you are a role player, you already know that at this particular time I will be speaking. So pay attention to this critical thing, especially because we are on an online environment. Toastmaster Fakhruddin, just one point of correction, I would say. How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, the book was written not by Andrew Carnegie, but by Dale Carnegie. And the reason I know this is because I have worked for Dale Carnegie training while I was in India. So a recommendation for everyone, wonderful book to read. I'll tell you, it's really good. How to Win Friends and Influence People is also another book by him, which everyone I think should read at some point of time. Well, coming quickly to the time breach, Toastmaster of the day did a good job, but you could exercise a tighter control and monitoring on the time schedule. I think in the background we have been communicating. Toastmaster Dina will also We'll sit together. We'll try to accommodate little more time for certain things like, introduction of the role players. Then, because what happens is we don't tend to consider that time. We think we tend to neglect that aspect. So we can accommodate it, and that is a completely workable thing. I'm sure we can work it out. As far as the scripts for the role players is also concerned, I'm not only here to tell you what has gone wrong, but I'm here also to offer my help. I will write some scripts and I will share it on the group. We can circulate it within the group and try and stick to these scripts for at least one or two meetings till we get used to these things. So suggestions are welcome. We can take this offline later on. Uh, last 2 points. When it comes to table topics and other impromptu roles or speeches, especially I'm talking from point of view of what DTM Alan's workshop today, he had to call upon volunteers. It would be nice, although our participation is a little less, but then, depending upon the participation, it would be nice if we could involve people or participants who are not playing a role for that particular meeting. So involvement is more. Like, for example, today, I volunteered. Toastmaster Fakhruddin volunteered. We were already playing roles. So what we should do is we could step back. Okay, we did it now today because we have only 16 participants. So we could not, we didn't have a choice. So, but if we have a larger audience, it would be always advisable that people who are already having a role wait till others do not have a role can participate. So that is my second last point. And the last point, which I've noticed, is that evaluators should pay more attention to the structure of an evaluation. There are various structures that Toastmasters International suggests, and a website, the Toastmasters International website, is how do I put it? It's a warehouse, I would say, of information, of resources where we can gather information about such things. There are many. There's something called a sandwich approach. There is something called, there are things that you can read up for yourself, evaluators especially. And we should also understand that while telling the good things about a speech, the whole point of an evaluation is to bring out the points of improvement, and not only that, but along with points of improvement, suggest how that person can improve, give tips, offer help, direct a person to the proper resources. So that is how you could, design your evaluation in a much better format. Having said that, wonderful meeting. We already breached 8 minutes, but never mind. I think the meeting was wonderful. I know I'm taking long, but I have to touch upon this. We did have an exclusive segment called Journey of the DTM, which was very nice, and we did gain a lot of knowledge from many DTMs over a number of meetings. But now I think we have evolved, and this workshop format, I think, is going to create waves, I should say. I think this meeting has set a precedent, has set a benchmark for future meetings. The workshop was wonderful. Like I messaged to Toastmaster DTM Ellen separately. I'm not here giving you superficial praise, but yes, right from the bottom of my heart, it was a wonderful experience, a very good workshop. And I think everyone put together, if we brainstorm, we can come up with more topics, more subjects, more workshops to enable the overall development of all the members and the participants of our meetings. And I hope other clubs will also have a look here and try to imbibe those things in their meetings as well. Well, I would like now to hand over the podium to Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Fakhruddin. You did a wonderful job, and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity of being a general evaluator for this meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sebastian, for the wonderful detailed evaluation. We are taking home great learning with us via today's meeting, we must say. And as you said, I'm saying this again, it is not a superficial praise. It's a praise honestly by heart. We are taking great learnings back home with us from today's meeting. Okay, and let me move on to the voting session for the best role player today. Can we have the polls? Okay, from here, I would like to conclude my role with a very amazing quote that we don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face challenges. I hand over the podium to President Varghese. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fakhdin. Wow, such a wonderful meeting actually. It is very, I'm very glad to be at such meetings. It is the standard of the Dreamweaver meetings are increasing because unfortunately we exceeded around 11 to 12 minutes. So I just want to wrap up. Before that, I just to invite our area director Toastmaster Amar, a few words as well as feedback. Also, we want to announce our area contest. Sorry, club level contest.
Thank you, President Verghese. It's always nice to visit Dreamweavers. This is the youngest club in the area, and probably the club which has a completely different character altogether. So whenever I come to Dreamweavers, it's almost like a new thing to learn. Amazing. So as our president announced, my job is to introduce the club contest to you. I find it as a privilege. So the club has decided to conduct its contest, the annual contest of this year, as on 9th and 23rd of January. So more details on this will be given by the president himself, but 9th and 23rd of January is going to be Dreamweavers annual club contest for the year. Okay, now how many of you are planning to take part in the contest? Can I see some show of hands? The club contest this year. Great. We have a lot of members who is interested in taking up contests. Is there anyone who thinks that, okay, why do I need to take part in contests? I'm doing good. I'm doing my pathways projects. It's everything going fine. So why do I need to spend my time in a contest and prepare for it? It's going to be a headache. Is there anyone having that sort of a thought process? Yeah, I can see. I can see some champions showing their hands, being a bit sarcastic. But other than that, seriously, if anyone, any one of you do think like that, why I am asking this question? Because I used to think like that. Okay, the last day when Mr. Verghese was there, I was delivering one of my speech, in which my speech topic was few mistakes I did in my pathways journey. Okay, that is the time when I was processing my pathways journey all throughout, or probably my Toastmasters journey. So one thing came right at first. Okay, probably the biggest mistake which I did in my Toastmasters journey throughout was not participating in a contest. I would like to quickly share you guys one screen of mine. See, I hope you guys can see my screen, right? So the first year when I joined as a member, I completed my level 1. Okay. If you look at the next year, being the VP membership of the club, you can see I didn't even complete one single level that whole year. Okay. So why? That was the first year I was going for a contest, but I didn't participate in an international speech contest. But I did for table topics and evaluation. So just to introduce you guys, there are 4 contests: international speech, evaluation speech contest, then there is table topics, and then there is also a humorous speech contest. Humorous and international speech, you have to prepare as prepared speech and deliver them. And evaluation and table topics, as you all know, is impromptu. That was the only thing I did. And my mentor, your club mentor, Alan, was behind me. He asked me to complete my level 2 and go for the international speech that year. But for some reason, I didn't do that. This is again one more information I want to give you guys. Like, we should complete level 2 in pathways to compete in an international speech. The rest of the 3, we can participate being a member of the club. But why? Why again international speech is so important? Why do I feel like that was my biggest mistake? This I realized the next year when I really participated in an international speech contest. It was really amazing, guys. It's almost like, preparing all together on the day before the exam. Okay, you focus on yourself so much. Like, we are all sure that we are here to improve, right? To improve our communication and leadership skills. But the amount of effort you put in preparing for an international speech is unreal. I mean, the transformation you're going to make yourself. So I highly recommend each and every one of you to complete your level 2 and go for that international speech contest and participate there. But if it is that difficult for you guys, realizing it, go for the other 3. And to make things even easier, you don't need to do it different from pathways, because all the speeches you do in a contest, plan it in such a way with your VP education such that those prepared speeches are counted as your pathways project, so that you're gaining, the club is also gaining a lot of project completions and level completions. So looking forward to have a wonderful contest this year. All the best, Dreamweavers. Over to you, President.
Thank you, Area Director Toastmaster Ahmed. Wonderful information. Definitely, I will share with the details with the help of Alina and Alan. Thank you very much. I would like to, because you are running short of time, that even though I would like to just get some feedback from DTM Alka, will you please give us some feedback? It's valuable for us. DTM Alka, you there? I think, okay, she's mute. Okay. Now, yeah, Toastmaster Suraya, will you please give your feedback? What did you find and how did you feel, Toastmaster Suraya?
Yes. Thank you so much, first of all, for inviting me. I'm so sorry that something went terribly wrong. Honestly, I didn't expect it to go as wrong as it did. But hopefully, my report was helpful, and I really liked, this session, this meeting. It's always a delight to come to Dreamweavers, honestly, because you always do something different when compared to other clubs. Other clubs have very standard structures. You always have prepared speeches, and then you always have table topics. And that includes our club as well. But with Dreamweavers, there's usually something different in the structure. Either it's a DTM journey or it's a workshop. And that is very unique to Dreamweavers. And you have to add on to the fact that it's a new club, relatively new club, which is honestly amazing. You've kind of put yourself out there as being the club that will have DTM journeys and that will have workshops that are really engaging. So congrats on that, because I keep coming back. Like, the main reason I was actually looking out for this meeting was because Alina posted and she said, there's going to be a workshop, and I saw it also on Instagram. I was like, OMG, this is really interesting. I might drop by. And then the president, messaged me and he asked, do you want to be the account? I was like, great, I was coming anyway. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. I loved it. And hopefully, actually, no, because Saturdays are free days for me. I'll keep coming back.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, DGM Suraya, as a Toastmaster Suraya. It's a wonderful that we are very glad that you are with us, and always you are welcome to our meeting. We need your valuable feedback also, and let's go for the award now. Who is the best speaker? It was a tight competition today. First icebreaker.
Let's first icebreakers first.
Yeah, icebreaker. Who's the best icebreaker? Alan, this
Job, Daniel.
Daniel, wonderful icebreaker. Thank you, Job. It's a wonderful. Now let's
Thank
go
you
for
so much. Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, now let's go for the Said Omar. He's the best speaker. Oh, thank you, Said. Wonderful. Said, you are the best speaker. Now let's go for the role play. Sorry, the evaluator.
Best table topic.
Table topic.
Hey.
It's a Toastmaster Fayaz Jahan. She's always winning there. Yeah, wonderful. And evaluator, yes, come on. Yeah, Kayon. Let's Kayon Matias. It's wonderful, Kayon. Wonderful. And we have one more role player, Alan. It's Sebastian, other than Sebastian. Thank you, everyone. It's a wonderful. And also, Mohammed Siraz, if you want to add something on top of it, because your presence, your contribution, everything is for us. It's wonderful. And Mohammed Siraz, are you there?
Yes, Toastmaster. Yes.
Yeah. Please, please appreciate your speech as well as your presence. Would you want to add something on top of it?
No, thank you very much for giving this opportunity. I feel that this is like my own